Okay, we're going to find horizontal asymptotes of rational functions. And there's some very simple rules for finding horizontal asymptotes. And they are, when we're looking at the rational function, so a rational function is a polynomial divided by a polynomial. If the degree of the top polynomial exceeds or is more than the degree of the bottom, if the degree of p of x is more than the degree of q of x, there is no horizontal asymptote. Horizontal, oops. Okay, and then if the degree is the same, the horizontal asymptote is y equals the leading coefficient of p of x divided by the leading coefficient of q of x. And remember that the leading coefficient is the one that is associated with the the leading coefficient is the number, the coefficient associated with the term with the highest exponent. So we'll see what the leading coefficients are in examples. And then if the degree of q of x is larger, than p of x, then the horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. All right, so let's look at some examples. So we have the rational function of 12x over 3x squared plus 1. So p of x would be 12x. That's the top function, the top polynomial. And q of x would be 3x squared plus 1. So the degree of p of x is 1. Whoops. And the degree of q of x is 2. Well, I don't mean equals, I mean is. So, since the degree of q of x is larger than p of x, the horizontal asymptote is at y equals 0. All right, next we have the rational function x squared over 3x squared plus 1. Okay, so the degree of the p of x, so p of x is the top polynomial and q of x is the bottom. The degree of p of x is 2, which is the same as the degree of q of x. So the degree of q of x is also 2. So now we find the leading coefficient. So the leading coefficient of p of x is 1, and the leading coefficient of q of x is 3. So our horizontal asymptote is 1 over 3, y equals 1/3. Okay, let's look at another one. f of x equals 15x squared over 3x squared plus 4x minus 5. The degrees are the same, so I look at the leading coefficients. So 15 over 3 reduces to 5. So my horizontal asymptote is at y equals 5. Okay, and the last one, minus 2x cubed, our function, is minus 2x cubed plus 1 over x squared plus x plus 1. So here's the degree of p of x, it's 3. And here's the degree of q of x, 2. So go ahead and write it down. Degree of p of x is 3, and q of x is 2. Okay, since the degree of p of x is larger, that means that there's no horizontal asymptote. So we just write none. All right, and that is an example of each type. So you can have a horizontal asymptote of 0, no horizontal asymptote, or the horizontal asymptote is a non-zero number. And that happens when the degrees match, and then it's the ratio of the leading coefficients.